Hi class, hope you're doing well. I thought this week I'd try some video announcements as opposed to writing them down. Since the last time I wrote them they got kind of lengthy. A couple things to mention to you about things that have happened and things that are going to happen, so I kind of keep you abreast of all of that. First of all, I have posted your grades for your Twain questions. Please take a look at those. A quick reminder: we will be coming back to Twain and the Adventures of Huckleberry Finn in the near enough future. Paper number 2, in fact, will be focused very much on Huck Finn himself. So if you haven't looked at that paper yet, why don't you take a moment and check that out, just so you're kind of thinking about what is to come there. So there's that. So take a look at those, and if you have any questions, of course, let me know. I'm happy to talk to you about that. Quick preview of what's coming. This week we have all modernist poets. 3 poets are on slate. 1, T.S. Eliot, with the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock. A tougher piece to read, but a great piece. Arguably my favorite poem. That's hard for me to say out loud sometimes because I have a hard time ranking my favorites like that. So you got T.S. Eliot up first. You've got Robert Frost second, and William Carlos Williams third. All 3 of those guys are modernist poets. You'll find William Carlos Williams very different from T.S. Eliot. Eliot's love song of J. Alfred Prufrock is this formal, longer, kind of tight piece, and then you're going to find William Carlos Williams really playing around with the kind of base level of what poetry can be. Some good stuff you're going to find from all 3 of these guys. Other thing I want to mention coming up this week is that you've got your thesis statement for paper number 1 and its support coming as well too. If you haven't already, please take a look at paper number 1 requirements. You'll find that folder in our assignments folder, so take a look for it. You will see that I asked you to turn in a thesis and supporting materials piece this week, and your paper itself will be due next week. The week after that. So a couple things I'll say to you real quickly about that. Number 1 is first read the requirements, obviously, so you feel comfortable with what it is you're doing. Number 2, when you start to think about what a thesis is, I got a quick warning for you. Think about a thesis as more than just a single word. A quick example, Romeo and Juliet, a story we all know. People want to say it's about love, and that's true, but that's not the theme. I would call it an idea. Love is an idea. The theme is more specific. It's a specific, controversial, or arguable statement about that idea. So yes, Romeo and Juliet is about love, but it's about more than that. You could argue, for example, that Romeo and Juliet is about love being never being able to be conquered. Love will always conquer. And then you can kind of jump in and argue what that means. Or you can say, for example, that teenage infatuation is not what love should be, and you could look at Romeo and Juliet from that stance, because I assume you all know, of course, they were teenagers and this took place in a very short amount of time. Anyway, back on to American. So what I want you to do for this week, though, is supply me that thesis and the supporting materials. A couple quick warnings. Number 1, please take a look at the MLA formatting document that we have in under our syllabus button if you need some reminders or some help with the layout and things like that. Number 2, please also look at the writer's reminders sheet as well and make sure you feel comfortable with those requirements. I will ask you to follow those strictly for anything you turn in to me, but especially anything you turn in related to one of our larger papers. That way I get to comment more on your content and your execution and not so much on the kind of formality, which is exactly what these sheets are helping you do. Be more formal in your writing. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to walk through it with you. I'm happy to take a few moments to give you some pointers or whatever the case is if you're having a particular challenge that you need some help with. So heads up on that. Those are the things that are coming. So in a little less than 2 weeks from now, you've got paper number 1 due to me. A little less than a week from now, of course, you've got the thesis statement and the supporting materials. Again, along with your normal weekly things that you have due. So that's what's coming. As always, if you have any questions or need anything, please let me know. One quick classroom reminder, and that is things that are Word documents, basically speaking, can be turned in late for a late penalty. It's 10 points per day, so please know that adds up quickly. Things that are not Word documents, things like discussion boards and quizzes, cannot be turned in late. I just mentioned that to you because a few people turned in the Twain quizzes, the Twain papers late. I get that, I understand, but I wanted to make sure that you remember you can get some points for that. Of course, some is better than none, as the cliche goes, so stick in with that as well too. Alright, those are my updates for the week. That was pretty quick. So if you have any questions at any point, of course, let me know. I'm here to help, and I'm happy to do so. And if I don't hear from you, keep reading and writing well, of course. And have yourselves a good week, and really enjoy these great poets you're getting ready to jump into. They're awesome. Have a good one.